In dealing with karmic families, we're going to experience a lot of rejection, a lot of abandonment, a lot of neglect, abuse in every form: physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, verbal, all forms of abuse. We're going to experience them, right? And that's going to carry on to throughout our adult lives until we choose to take accountability for what has happened. And that doesn't mean that we are going to try to find out why they behaved in a certain way, which was one of my mistakes. I wanted to find out, why did these people behave like this? What's wrong with them? And in reality, every time I did that, I had to go back and heal more, because it's not my responsibility to find out why they behave a certain way. It was my responsibility to find out what was lacking in me, that I kept needing to find out, why are they behaving that way, and what was lacking in me that I kept allowing it, and what was it that I needed to learn from the situation so I didn't have to repeat the same mistake, right? And this shows up later on in our adult life in a way where, when we find relationships, for example, usually there'll be like the emotional relationships, like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife type of scenario. And we're going to keep repeating the same patterns with these people until we don't find it within ourselves what wounds we didn't heal. What is it that I'm looking for? And what was it that I wasn't feeling in on my own? For example, let's say like daddy issues, right? And somebody leaves you, or you break up with someone, and now you feel abandoned, and you feel neglected, and then now you are repeating the same pattern that you repeated when you were 13, because of something that happened in your childhood, right? So it goes deeper into like you taking accountability for what you allowed, and you going and doing the work to heal and finding out what it is that you're lacking inside of you, in order for you to not repeat the same cycle again. So what I had to do was, I had to go back through all my relationships, extract the lesson from it, and when it came back again, for me, it took me a long time to stop repeating the same lessons over and over again, especially abandonment, because abandonment for me was a really big one. But once I realized that I was abandoning myself every time I allow myself to get into certain patterns, then it was easier for me to remove myself and not have to deal with that anymore, with that specific issue.